Mashed potato has to be one of the most popular sides to go with any meal. And I'm gonna give you my perfect mash recipe today. So I'm starting off with some beautiful Carisma potatoes. These are genuinely really versatile. I use them a lot at home. Great for boiling and roasting. Just a good quality Aussie potato. We just boil the potatoes for about 10-12 minutes. I start off in cold water, and then once it's cooked, drain them off and then leave them in the pan with the lid on, just to let the steam dry it out. Because you want to get rid of that excess moisture. Don't want it in a mash. That's what will turn your mash really wet sometimes. You don't want a wet mash, okay? So the steaming process at the end with the lid on, really key to getting this dish right. All right, nice amount of salt in that water. Add in our potatoes. Popping that on, bringing it to the boil, and then we'll drain them off a little bit later and let it steam. All right. So I've just left that, drained it, left it steaming with the lid on, just to help dry out and take some of that moisture out of the potatoes. And now I've got a little hand ricer. If you don't have a hand ricer, you can obviously do it just with a masher, but I said perfect mashed potatoes, okay? This gives you a much smoother end product than a traditional masher. And you can get these now really easily from like catering shops or even online. So we're just gonna pop that in, and then we literally just push it through. It's also a lot easier on the arms. Why I love a ricer, honestly. It's a very good investment. So the potato now, literally, pop it back into your pot. And now, the key bit is we're gonna add our butter. Now, there's many different recipes for mashed potato out there. I promised you the perfect recipe. And for me, the perfect recipe means this. A lot of butter. Sorry, Jack and Joe. It's the reason why I'm doing this recipe by myself today, but it really is the key. You don't want to add it all at once. You're going to start adding in probably about a quarter of the butter to begin with, and just let that gently melt through as we beat our potatoes. You want to keep working the potatoes while it's in the pan, so the butter doesn't split, it doesn't separate. So the ratio I'm using is basically 2-to-1. So for a kilo of potato, I'm using 500 grams of a good quality butter. So I'm just gonna finish adding the butter and keep beating this till it's nice and smooth. Look at that. Beautiful, delicious mashed potato. And really is so simple. Give it a nice, generous scoop. And then just a few chopped chives on top. Good food does not need to be complicated. Potatoes, a nice amount of good butter, some fresh chives, and I'm taking one of the most classic dishes and making it a little taste of perfection. Look at that. Beautiful, simple. Now you've got all my secrets.